Welcome to another episode of ZMU Live TV, raw and uncut. I am your host, Armand Nicholas, and today we're going to be talking about a topic that many of you have inquired about in the past, inquiring about, is there another way to add revenue or increase revenue instead of just our YouTube channel? The answer is yes. So we are going to discuss that today for those who are interested in pursuing other means of revenue in the marketplace. Now, obviously, you all are watching this because you're trying to monetize your YouTube channel to potentially earn you some revenue in the future. But in the meantime, or even after monetization, there are other ways that you can actually acquire revenue by means of advertising. Now, obviously, one of the most common ways, there are several different ways. There are more common ways is Google Adsense. If you haven't already applied for your Google Adsense, do so immediately. Even if your channel is not monetized yet, you can apply for Google Adsense. Or other means are your Anchor podcasting, right? You can acquire some revenue through podcasting as well. But for the most part, Google AdSense is definitely one of the major avenues of additional revenue. Now, a lot of you probably have tried Google AdSense before and it was somewhat difficult to get approved. There are so many different requirements. So others would ask, are there any alternatives to Google AdSense? Yes, there are. There are many different alternatives to Google AdSense. So for those who doesn't know or who don't know, Google AdSense was created back in 2003 by means of digitally advertising certain companies, certain websites, certain services, and you get paid by advertising those on your website or your podcast or in your channels as well. Okay? So, but the criteria is somewhat difficult for a lot of people. So they've gone outside of Google AdSense, and there are many different companies or organizations that you can utilize besides Google Ads. Okay? So we'll be talking about some of those alternatives at this time, but need to understand how they primarily work. Okay? Again, it's by means of advertising on your websites. So if you have the desire, or if you already have an active website, whether it's a blog or a forum or a service website of tools, you can utilize advertising on those platforms. That will allow you to earn and generate additional revenue towards your monthly goals. Okay? So, in regards to Google AdSense, it's easy enough to understand. If you have a YouTube channel, just go into your account and apply for your Google Ads, right? Google AdSense. But what are some of the alternatives that are out there? Because obviously, Google AdSense is extremely competitive, right? Extremely competitive because of the amount of YouTubers that are out there, the amount of uploaded videos that gets uploaded to YouTube on a daily basis. So many are seeking out other forms of alternatives, and on the description of this video you can see about 21 or 24 or 25 of them on the description. By all means, click on every single one of those, go to their website, see if you meet the criteria. A lot of them are niche based, a lot of them are specific to certain topics or certain types of websites, that if your website falls into that category, it makes sense to utilize them. Now, many of you are asking, can you actually use Google AdSense and some of these other alternatives at the same time? Absolutely. I myself have Google AdSense, but also have 3 or 4 other alternatives that are being advertised on my website. It helps. Everything adds when there are visits to your website, and of course when there are clicks as well. Okay, some of the most popular one out there are media.net. Okay? Propeller Ads. Propeller Ads are very simple to acquire. You just make sure that your website fits into their criteria. Adversal, right? These are all just some of the bigger players outside of Google AdSense. So in return, if you have all of these approvals and you have all of these ads being shown on your website, it makes your website a little bit more productive. It allows it to be productive in means of additional revenue outside of YouTube and outside of Google AdSense. Okay, so in a nutshell, what people ask is, how much money can you actually make with one of these affiliates, right? Or some of these alternatives. That truly depends on the traffic of your website and the type of niche that you have. There are, I guess, links or advertising that they will pay a minimum of, let's say, $5 for 1,000 visit. And then there are alternatives out there that will pay $15 per 1,000 visit or views. Podcasting by itself is a minimum of $15 for 1,000 views, right? And if you have a good topic to discuss and a good information to provide people, and you can market your podcasting, why not make that extra $15 for every 1,000 people that are actually viewing your podcast or listening to your podcast? Okay, so there are multiple avenues and facets as to what you could do. So most people will ask all the time, which AdSense or which alternative to AdSense is best to use? Again, it depends on your website. It depends on what you're using it for. You have to do some research in regards to what fits your website the best. So in summary, AdSense AdSense may be the most sought out, the most popular, okay, that's out there. Yes, but also the fact that they're the most popular also means they are potentially not the most aggressive when you're talking about per click or per view, per 1,000. Okay? Other alternatives out there are a lot more aggressive and more lucrative than Google AdSense, just because they are trying to advertise a special niche or a special market advertising that fits onto what your platform is. Okay? You're gonna want to try as many different options as possible. If you can get approval from 2 alternatives, 3 alternatives, or even 5 alternatives to Google AdSense, why not? So that you can at least put all of those links on your websites all at the same time, so that you can get credit for all of those advertising that you're doing outside of Google AdSense. There are many different ways that you can make additional revenue from your channel or from your platforms. Okay, like I said, Google AdSense is one of them. Monetizing your YouTube channel is one of them. Using the alternatives to Google AdSense, another way. Using podcasting to generate additional revenue is another way, right? Actual having sponsorships is another way, which we'll discuss in a later video. Or using affiliated marketing. Affiliated marketing is one of those more dominant features of additional revenue, just because the percentage is so high. But yes, it's kind of like selling something on your website. But why doesn't hurt? And how easy it is to become an Amazon affiliated marketing. How easy it is to become Grapevine affiliated marketing approved. So I'll try to provide as many of those links on the description as far as the ones that I currently utilize. But the options are endless out there, you guys. There are websites out there that they're bidding on putting their links on your websites. That, yeah, some of them will pay only $5 per 1,000 views. But if you had like a couple of those on your websites and you're getting the views on your websites, it doesn't hurt to make $5 from this company, another $5 from that company. It's the same 1,000 views that are being repeated anyway. So once again, I'm hoping that this little short session of ours is a bit helpful to those who are wondering about how to additionally add revenue to their platforms. And hopefully, if you have any questions, feel free to jot it down on the comments page. And if you haven't done so yet, please make sure that you like this video and of course subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already. But once again, my name is Armand Nicholas with Team ZMU, and thank you for joining me in this short journey to your monetization. Have a wonderful day and see you next time.